Coming up on UCF Nightly News, some Jewish students may be at risk of carrying various genetic diseases. We'll tell you what you can do to stay informed.
Plus, legislators approve funding for the downtown campus. Connor Engelhart is live downtown to tell you what to expect in the future.
Also, we'll tell you how one Orlando man's invention is making exercise with your pup safer and how people with disabilities can use it to their advantage.
In sports, we talked to newest Orlando Pride edition, Alex Morgan. Hear how she feels about joining the team.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Justin Garfield.
And I'm Daniela Polinar. Today is Friday, March 18th, 2016.
UCF Downtown officials overcame another funding hurdle this week. Governor Rick Scott approved state funds for the project. He signed the budget yesterday.
Reporter Connor Engelhart joins us live via Skype to tell us what's next for UCF Downtown. What can you tell us, Connor?
That's right, guys. Now that Rick Scott has donated $81.2 billion that the state has funded, UCF Downtown campus will be a go. And here in downtown Orlando, as you can see, the city has already started the groundwork for the project, and the city has also committed $75 million to the infrastructure here for UCF Downtown.
Construction for the city's infrastructure is underway at Creative Village to support UCF's new downtown Orlando campus. And with the new promise of approval from Governor Rick Scott, UCF officials are excited for the next step.
We're absolutely thrilled that we have the support for the governor.
But UCF spokeswoman Christine Dellert says, more importantly, UCF has the support from the community.
We've been working so hard with so many different partners for over a year.
According to the UCF website, the project involves 14 academic programs to relocate downtown, focusing on digital entertainment and communication, healthcare technology, and administration and public service. We spoke to freshman students who have high expectations for the $60 million project.
I think expansion's always a good thing. When you expand, you open up more doors for more people.
But not all students think the timing is right.
I feel very neutral. I think it's a good thing, but I also think that they're doing it too early.
Some professors we spoke with had mixed feelings on the project. Some were for it and others were against it. Dellert says the university is working with faculty involved in the move.
And change is always difficult. I mean, this is a big change for students. It's a big change for the university.
This project will impact more than just the UCF campus. Dellert says they're taking existing residents living in the downtown community into consideration.
No community members are being displaced because of the downtown campus. That's not what this project is about.
Dellert says the target opening date is set for fall 2018.
Dellert says the university still needs to raise $4 million in donations to reach their target goal of $20 million. And other university officials say that there will be student housing here when the downtown campus is finished. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Connor. UCF officials say they hope to have shuttles going to and from main campus. We will continue to keep you updated on the project. Governor Rick Scott is preparing to sign off on passed bills from the legislative session. Legislators passed on a 3-day tax holiday bill for school items and a center for UCF students with disabilities. Legislators failed bills like high-level insurance for Uber drivers and concealed carry on college campuses.
With Florida primaries completed this week, some states have yet to vote. The voting took place this past Tuesday, and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton won big. Reporter Daniel Bird joins us here in the studio with more information.
Thanks, guys. The race for the White House continues. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton won Florida's primaries with high numbers on Tuesday. According to the Associated Press, Trump received over 1 million votes. Clinton, on the other hand, defeated other top candidate Bernie Sanders. She also received over 1 million votes. Up next are the Arizona and Utah primaries, as well as the Idaho caucus on Tuesday, March 22nd. And you can't forget the American Samoan Republican Convention that takes place that same day. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Daniel. The day after the Florida primaries, Governor Rick Scott announced his endorsement of Trump's campaign. According to the Division of Elections, Trump contributed $125,000 to Scott's 2014 campaign. Some UCF students are preparing for a campaign of their own. Election for Student Government Association presidency is coming up. You've probably noticed the many signs posted around campus in addition to social media pages. There are 3 groups of candidates: Chris Clemente and Rachel Altfield, Jake Millick and Elaine Sarlo, and Anthony Safadi and Ali Nasser Eden. 2 debates are being held next week. Nicholson School of Communication is hosting one on Tuesday, March 22nd, here in the studio at 6 p.m. And SGA is hosting the second on Wednesday, March 23rd in the Cape Florida Ballroom at 6 p.m. The election is held March 28th through March 30th. Students can vote online at my.ucf.edu. We'll keep you updated on this election. Students and faculty are back in the swing of things this week, but for some, last week made for an eventful spring break. UCF's orientation team, also known as O-Team, traveled to East Carolina University for a conference. O-Team learned about guiding new students with 47 other Southern universities. Members were able to learn, compete, and even win awards. Paige Woods, Associate Director of First Year Experience, received a regional award for outstanding orientation, transition, and retention. She believes the recognition will improve O-Team's influence on new UCF students.
We want to make sure that the product we're providing to new students is quality. And so by winning awards, it's just one indicator that we're doing great things here at UCF.
All the schools at the workshop competed in song, skit, dance, and step competitions. Our very own O-Team brought home 3rd place in the dance category.
UCF has the 2nd largest Jewish student population among public universities in America, and because members of the Jewish community may be prone to certain genetic diseases, Chabad at UCF hosted a special screening this week. Nightly News was there and talked to students about why they think this was really important. UCF student Jesse Slomowitz is a regular at the weekly Chabad barbecues, and when he heard about the screenings going on, this was one barbecue he knew he couldn't miss.
Today I made sure definitely to go because, the genetic testing, I want to make sure 100% where I stand on that.
People in Jewish communities can be carriers of genetic diseases and not know it. To be sure, a number of UCF students took advantage of the free screenings. Dr. Aurelis Martir-Negron, a geneticist at Nicholas Children's Hospital, travels around the nation to help raise awareness about what these diseases are.
These are recessive conditions that have maintained in the population because for years it have been a very close community because of religious, because of customs.
These are only a handful of the diseases being screened for, most notably Tay-Sachs, a common disorder in babies. While most of these do appear in Jews, professionals say a few of them can affect people of all backgrounds, like cystic fibrosis. For this reason, Slomowitz believes that everyone should consider getting tested.
You don't want to end up that people are in a relationship that a person has the potential that gives their kids one of these diseases, and suddenly, the kid has a disease and you're also now dealing with this emotional trauma.
The screening involves genetic counseling, filling out paperwork, then getting blood drawn. Patients will receive the results about 4 weeks later. If you or someone you know would like to get a screen for a Jewish genetic disease, you can make an appointment with the local genetics center. For information about the Orlando facility and a full list of diseases, log on to our website, nsm.today. Up next, we'll tell you about one student who traveled a non-traditional route for spring break.
Plus, Holly Stover tells us how Daytona Beach is handling its spring breakers. And Karan Case will tell us the weather for the weekend and if your plans will be affected. was fun in the sun for most spring breakers, but for others, it was a good time to go overseas to network. UCF student Makisha Noel spent her spring break in Turkey. She was one out of 120 students who were selected in the nation to travel. She participated in a panel where she shared her ideas and collaborated with other student leaders.
Work with young Arab leaders from North Africa and Middle Eastern countries, and so I also had the opportunity to share my project, which is the Living Room Project, as well as share my leadership experiences.
She got her opportunity through Georgetown University and the Department of State. If you're interested in applying next year, visit cied.georgetown.edu.
Florida is known for being a spring break hotspot. People travel from all over the U.S. to visit its beaches every year. But this year, spring breakers are making more than memories. They're making a mess. Reporter Holly Stouffer went to Daytona Beach to check it out.
Daytona Beach is getting way more spring breakers than they expected. And with more spring breakers, it means more trash.
Right now, we're seeing a lot of trash on the beach.
Tammy Maris is the captain of Volusia County Beach Safety. She says that she's surprised by this year's turnout, mainly because she didn't think that hurricanes could come in the form of students.
We do have extremely large crowds, bigger than we've seen in years. Our alcohol violations are about triple on average compared to this time of year.
So her and her team are trying a new approach to control the mess.
Go up to people with an alcohol violation, we'll give them a choice, either take the ticket or pick up some of the trash around them, and a lot of them are opting to pick up that trash, which is great.
According to My DUI Florida, in Volusia County, this offense is a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 60 days in jail, 6 months probation, and a $500 fine. And some students won't argue that picking up trash is the better option.
Throw it in the back of your car, throw it in your beach bag. There's garbage cans all over the place. Ask a lifeguard, ask your neighbors, somebody's gonna have a better idea than just digging a hole and leaving it.
Captain Maris says the best way to keep our beaches beautiful is to simply clean up after yourself by taking your garbage and throwing it away when you leave.
So that spring breakers can enjoy our beaches for years to come. Reporting in Daytona Beach, Holly Stouffer, UCF Nightly News.
Volusia County also has a subcontractor that is responsible for cleaning the beach every morning, and they have upped their manpower for this spring break season. Coming up, Selena Schaefer is live at the Student Union to tell us about an upcoming performance.
Plus, in weather, Karan Case is in the studio to tell us what to expect for the rest of the day.
Victim Services is hosting a unique performance taking a strong stand for women. We have Selena Schaefer live outside the Student Union via Skype.
Selena, tell us about the show. What can we expect?
That's right, guys. It's a taboo topic, but that's not stopping Victim Services from going ahead and putting on the event tomorrow night here at the Student Union. We were able to sit down with the director of the show, as well as a performer and an advocate for Victim Services. They were able to tell us about important issues that the monologues shine a light on. Let's take a look.
I am right here. I waved. I am right here.
These actors are preparing for a performance, the Vagina Monologues. For most of them, including graduate student Elizabeth Fay, their character in the play is very different from who they are in real life.
I am usually not a very sexual person openly, so it's kind of nice because she is a little bit more sexual.
UCF Victim Services wants to advocate for everyone to embrace and love the body you're in. Jessica Fernan, an advocate for Victim Services, says for women especially, this can be difficult to do, but they are hoping to change that.
We just want people to feel empowered by their womanhood and to, be able to embrace that and move forward in life.
That's why they're hosting this year's performance. The title is sure to catch many off guard, but Fernan wants to wash away the negative connotations surrounding the word.
We don't want vagina to be a dirty word. It's part of our bodies as women. We want to love and accept our vaginas.
It wants silence and
This performance is breaking more molds than just the usage of the word. Scott Dittman is the director of the performance. He says the story sheds light on real-life issues.
Women's rights, women's issues, the inequality against women, and some of the really horrible things that happen to women in other countries.
Though there is explicit content in these monologues, Victim Services say these stories need to be heard.
Some of these monologues can be triggering to people just because they are about domestic violence, sexual violence, and some other, more negative things that women go through.
I never really told anybody about that.
Because of this, members of Victim Services will be in attendance for anyone and everyone to talk to on the night of the show.
The monologues are a result from over 200 interviews from women across the world. The event is set to take place tomorrow night inside the Student Union here inside the Pegasus Ballroom at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6, but the event is totally free, but they are accepting donations for various organizations. Make sure to come out and enjoy the show. Reporting from the Student Union, I'm Selena Schaefer. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Selena. Anyone visiting the Orlando Museum of Art may recognize a name with some UCF roots on the wall. This past week, the museum opened The Sources by Steve Lott's exhibit. According to the display, Lotz founded the UCF Art Department in 1968. The gallery features work from his 57-year career. The exhibit will be open through June 5th. The museum offers discounts to students who bring their IDs. In Orlando, an assembled invention has some dogs wagging their tails and some people enjoying their bike rides a little more. The engineer behind the invention took it to the largest pet expo this week to show it off. Nightly News attended the expo and found out about the invention that also strays from its original purpose.
Michael Leon has faced some obstacles in his life.
After 9/11 attacks, I had a lot of free time on my hands after losing my position with the airline equipment company that I was working for.
But that time didn't go to waste. He and his family started raising service dogs, and he came up with an idea. It's called the Bike Tow Leash, and it doesn't just stick to its name. The leash is also attached to wheelchairs.
There's a lot of hazards that you have taking your dog on a wheelchair. Often people don't have full control of their arms. My wife doesn't have as much use of her arms as you'd like.
Leon's wife, Betsy, has multiple sclerosis. This is her service dog, Ray.
He is incredible. I mean, he is so smart. When he's been left from me for a while, he'll just kill himself to get back to me.
When he's not working, he likes to hang out and join Leon on bike rides. The leash's design provides a barrier between dog and device and gently pushes them into the heel position. She is thankful that the leash allows her to keep Ray close.
It's just great. I mean, I especially used to walk with him, and it was absolutely incredible because I could, go anywhere.
Leon also gets help from UCF student Alex Couchman, who helped in the early stages too.
It was nice to help him build it, and I also
had my input, and I have helped shape the product.
As for the furry friends attached to the other end, well, it looks like they positively approve.
Global Pet Expo is the largest of its kind. The event ends this evening at 6 p.m. If you're interested in learning more about or purchasing the Bike Tow Leash, you can visit the website biketowleash.com.
There are quite a few St. Patrick's Day celebrations in Orlando this weekend. Karan Case joins us now in the studio for your weekly weather forecast.
Karan, tell us what it's looking like now and what to expect over our weekend.
Hey guys, the weather outside is absolutely beautiful. But first, let me get into the national weather right now. As you can see down south, we're expecting severe thunderstorms, but hopefully none of that comes our way. Now, if you look up north, we have a lot of snow. Looks like it's still wintertime for them. And I want you guys to look at the west coast. Do you see that? It is dry. It is so dry. Now let's go into our current conditions right now. So as you can see, Tallahassee, we're at 78. Also in Jacksonville. Take a look at Tampa, we're at 83. In Orlando, ouch, it's like 86 degrees, but I'm pretty sure it feels like 90. And look at Miami, 73. Now let's go into our precipitation. Now Tampa comes in at 0%, and so does Miami. But look at Tallahassee, it's in 70%. It's like, you know, becoming first place. Now let's go into our weekend our 5-day forecast. As you can see, we have 82 degrees and 66 for the low. We have 72 for the high and 50 for the low. And we also have the temperature dropping a bit with a 68 and 48 for the low. And then on Tuesday, we have 79 degrees and 54. And then it warms up a bit on Wednesday when we have 82 degrees and 61 degrees for Wednesday. Well, it looks like Florida's always changing up on us, but that's all the time we have in weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Karan. Coming up, spring football has started here at UCF.
We have Edward Locke in the studio to tell us about the team's first week.
Doing great, guys. That was really good.
Good afternoon, UCF Knights. I'm Edward Locke with your sports update. The spring football season kicked off this week as the Knights returned to the practice field in preparation for the spring game on April 16th. The two-time AAC champions are looking to bounce back from an 0-12 season. Head coach Scott Frost is in his first season here at UCF, and one of his tasks will be choosing one of the starting quarterbacks from the 6 on the roster. Senior Justin Holman is the starter from last year, and redshirt senior Nick Patty says having so many quarterbacks on staff helps everyone get better.
Work together really well. It's a great opportunity for us to kind of learn from each other. It's more guys to learn from. It's more guys to have an opportunity to kind of pick from their game. And that's what kind of we do. It's kind of what every position does. You try to pick as much from other guys' games as you can, and it gives us more of an opportunity to do that.
The team will practice 3 days a week for the next 5 weeks before the spring game. And that's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep updated with us during the week on our website, nsm.today.
And if you've got a story you want us to know about, send it our way at nightlynewsucf@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Yeah,